Well, hey guys, I'm back, and today we're checking out Hyper Dragon Ball Z, a fan-made fighting game that exists for reasons I genuinely cannot explain. I mean, how many Dragon Ball fighting games are out there already? Apparently the answer is not enough, because the fans made this one. But hey, it was free, so I figured, why not play it? Plus, I know at least one of you watching is a massive Dragon Ball fan. You know who you are, so consider this video my gift to you. Now, full disclosure, my Dragon Ball knowledge is basically held together by death battle clips and 2 episodes of Super I watched years ago. I read a tiny bit of the original manga and I made it to the point where Goku learned the Kamehameha. Oh, and I also learned that this old guy with the turtle shell is an absolute menace to society. Mr. Raunchy here hits on every woman within a 5-mile radius. Like he's speedrunning, trying to get a restraining order on him constantly. And with all that out of the way, let's check out Hyper Dragon Ball Z. So, if you've ever played a Street Fighter game, Hyper Dragon Ball Z is going to feel instantly familiar. You've got 3 punch buttons, 3 kick buttons, and classic inputs for special moves. You build meter, you throw out supers, everything explodes in bright colors. It's basically Dragon Ball by way of Capcom. And the roster is massive. Absolutely stacked. I'm not even going to pretend I know who half these people are, but every single one of them has their own flashy moves, transformations, and ridiculous supers. You've got multiple versions of some characters. Base Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta. It's like a Dragon Ball tax form. And most of the cast is insanely overpowered in the best way possible. They're throwing beams, teleporting, blowing up the screen. Oh, and then there's Mr. Satan. Yeah, that Mr. Satan. I only know who this man is because of Death Battle. And even there, he was basically a walking L. Hyper Dragon Ball Z does not help his case at all. His strongest move is literally a haymaker punch that breaks his own arm. Yes, his strongest attack literally breaks his own arm. Peak athleticism there, buddy. My personal favorite to play as is Android 18 though. Not because I know her backstory or lore, because I don't, but because her moves are super easy to pull off, and she just radiates, I could end you energy. She's a total badass. Which is why I was genuinely shocked to learn she married Krillin. Like, this guy, Krillin. I don't know how that relationship happened, but hey, good for him. Man pulled off the greatest win in Dragon Ball history. Though I have to ask, how does this relationship work? Like, I know they have a daughter named Marin. And how did Android 18 get pregnant? Because she's an android. That means she's a robot, right?
Good question.
Anyway, that seems to be his only real win, though. Because the universe just wants to clown on Krillin, it seems. I don't know if this is a thing in the show, but in the game, this guy just gets the short end of the stick constantly. Especially in his end in story mode. Oh yeah, story mode. Now, the story mode, I think I understand it. Maybe. You fight a bunch of people, collect 7 Dragon Balls, then you fight Wicked Frieza, who looks like Frieza after a Hot Topic phase, as the final boss. Then everyone at the end of the game gets their wish granted. Except for Krillin, who gets absolutely clowned on. Just watch this.
wish has been granted.
So yeah, Krillin finally gets to make a big wish, and this stupid pig man interrupts him to wish for some panties. All I'm saying is, that pig would not be a happy pig if I were in Krillin's shoes. If I were about to get any wish in the world I wanted granted, and this stupid pig interrupted it for panties? Oh boy. Would I be eating some good bacon tomorrow morning? Most of these endings are either unhinged, funny, or straight up insane. For example, Android 18 wishes for gold, bikinis, and Krillin in a swimsuit. It appears, because I'm not entirely sure what she wished for this to happen, but I guess it must have been a good wish. Oh, and Mr. Satan wishes to become king of the world, because, of course he does. Goku wishes to try new kinds of food by the looks of it, and somehow ends up fighting Kirby. Yes, Kirby. Pink, round, vacuum cleaner Kirby. I don't know how he got here, I don't know why he's here, and I don't think Goku knows either. And then some of these endings go completely off the rails. Goku Black, for example, doesn't even bother making a wish. He just straight up kills Shenron. Shenron shows up and is like, "State your wish." And Goku Black responds with killing him. This man is not well in his head. And then there's Frieza, and honestly, his ending almost tricked me. He wishes he had trained his whole life instead of sitting around doing nothing. And for a split second, I thought, wow, character development. Maybe they're gonna have Frieza develop into a good guy, and nope, absolutely not. He only wants to become strong enough to annihilate every Z fighter in existence, and his ending literally shows all of them dead. Every single one of them. What the hell? Frieza, can you not be evil for 5 minutes? Yeah, some of these endings get wild. Some are funny, some are dark, and some are call the police levels of concerning. If I had to pick a favorite ending though, it's Mr. Satan's. His ending is so ridiculous, so delusional, and so over the top that it just loops around to becoming art. Peak comedy right here. Alright, so what else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, the actual gameplay. And honestly, it's a ton of fun. Some characters are definitely harder to use than others, but like I said earlier, Android 18 is my go-to. Her moves are easy to pull off, she hits hard, and she feels good to play. Meanwhile, some characters feel like you need a PhD in quarter circles just to throw a punch. I'm looking at you, Goku Black! There's also a bunch of different game modes. I messed around with Team Battle a bit, which I think is pretty unique how they handled Team Battle in this game. Unlike most 2D fighters where you tag in and out, Hyper Dragon Ball Z lets both of your characters be on screen at the same time. So, unlike most 2D fighters, where it's one-on-one, where you're taking turns fighting each other, this one lets you be 2-on-2, and it's a full-on Dragon Ball mosh pit. It's loud, it's crazy, and honestly, it can get pretty funny at times. Then there's Survival Mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. Fight until you drop. But most of my time was spent in the arcade ladder, which works like most fighting game ladders. Beat up a bunch of people until you reach the bosses. And speaking of bosses, starting at level 10, things get a little weird. See, on level 10, sometimes you'll fight these little green army dudes who look like escaped or rejected Dragon Quest spin-off characters. And then you fight something completely unhinged. Like in one case, I thought I was gonna fight Gogeta or Gogeta, whatever it is called when Goku and Vegeta fuse together. And then he got turned into a piece of candy, and I had to fight him. And this fight was actually hard, like annoyingly hard. Everyone else at level 10 is a joke, but Candy, Gogeta, or Vogeta, or whatever the heck it's called. This fight is a pain in the ass. Then there's Farmer. Look, I still have no idea who this man is, but if you know, please comment down below, because I'm genuinely curious. Farmer is the most pathetically weak boss I've ever seen in a video game. You can sneeze on him. He dies in round 1. In round 2, he comes back with a tank, which sounds intimidating until you realize you're playing as characters, most of the time, who can blow up planets. It might as well be made of wet cardboard. Yeah, this game is completely unhinged. After that, you fight the real bosses. Vegeta, then you'll fight Nightmare or Raging Jiren, and finally, Wicked Frieza. And if you die on these bosses, don't worry. The game just hands you a power-up like, yeah, we know this fight is BS, but here's a buff. And trust me, you'll need it. Nightmare is pure nonsense. I hate this boss with a passion. Though Raging Jiren, Vegeta, and Wicked Frieza are much more manageable. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this game. If you're a huge fan of Dragon Ball, I cannot recommend it enough. Like, I'm sure if you're a fan, there's tons of references in here I'm not getting. But even as a non-Dragon Ball fan and someone who doesn't know much about the franchise, I enjoyed it and had fun with it. Like, I am not a Dragon Ball fan at all, but I still had fun playing this game. And it's free, so all you have to lose is your time. I'll leave a link to the game in the description, as well as a link to my personal games, such as Nova Rebellion. Yes, I gotta keep the lights on in my studio somehow. My studio makes video games, too, and one of them, Nova Rebellion, is already out. Links to that in the description. And before I head off for good, I'll leave you with a trailer for our next upcoming game. Roll trailer!